Welcome to podcast 28 in the series of Who Let the Master Out? You know, as you look at life and this journey that we have coming back from fear to unconditional love, we discover that this adventure is really all about our worth, how we determine our value, the price we put on our own head, and how we measure someone else's worth. Life is a big mirror that reflects back to us how we feel about ourselves. And we will only see ourselves and the world through the filters of fear or through the filters of unconditional love. When we look at our worth based on the outside world, we will always find ourselves coming up short in being worth less. But when we base our identity, our value, our significance on our true inner selves, then we find that we are unconditionally loved and that we are indeed even made of unconditional love. We get to see that we are priceless and we get to see our true value. What keeps our higher, powerful being suppressed and not expressing itself here on earth is when we're looking outward into the physical world for our definition. I named this podcast, I See You, because that is what scares us in this physical world. What am I seeing when I look at you? What private judgments am I making about you that I'm keeping secret from you and that I might be telling others? No! A great deal of our daily motivation in the world of conditional love stems from wondering how other people will see us. What will they think of us? And how that might make them react toward us. Will they get mad? Will they cry? Will they hurt us? Will they hurt themselves? Will they leave us? Will they reject us? Will God reject me? And all that just repeats and loops over and over again in our head. But relief comes for us when we realize that the power over these thoughts lies within us. We are the ones that give them power over us. Because in order for other people to have power over me, I must believe that other people have the power to define who I am. But when I realize the truth that I define myself, then I alone have control over my life. Not people, not circumstances. I decide what every single thing that happens in my life means about me. All the fear egos in this world do a very good job at labeling other people in order to keep us in the game. If we can be kept in the mentality of comparing and contrasting ourselves against others, we will invest so much energy in trying to be a certain type of person, or a lot more energy in trying not to be a certain type of person. But when we can comprehend that we each are a unique special creation, we can free ourselves from the desire to judge ourselves or others. And I mean, how can you compare an apple to a ray of light? They're so different. They have so many different characteristics and gifts that they can bring to the world. Another event that lures us into the physical world to define ourselves is our perceived impact on others. You know, we fear that our actions will make other people unhappy and that we will be blamed for their unhappiness. But really, in order to control other people's choices and their happiness, I must believe that I have control over their emotions. But we realized that I am only able to choose my own feelings then I realize I can never control anyone else's feelings. I mentally release that perceived control back to them. Not that I ever had it to begin with. Because really, we all know someone who we just know if we gave them everything in the world, they would still choose to find something wrong with it. And they would choose to be unhappy anyway. You know what? And we might be that someone to someone else. Because who knows? We really never know how others perceive us because they're seeing us through their own conditional love glasses. We begin to release the importance of the external world when it hits us that everything external is unstable. Really think about it. Those human characters that we're interacting with in our life, they change, or those human characters die. Situations are always changing, and all these material things deteriorate, break, or are stolen. So if we define ourselves by these unstable things, then that is why we feel unstable ourselves. Good news is we can find stability in the truth that we are defined by the unconditional love that lies within us. Boom. So strike a pose, awesome one, and make it a selfie. Next episode, we're going to talk about waking up from our hibernation. And we're about one episode away from talking about unconditional love energy and getting into speaking to people from the other side and all those exciting things. So hang on, because we're getting closer. But until then, break the cycle. Be free and be big, because we're giants in a world of giants who have been taught that we're weak and small. But it's time to rise. It's time to let your master out.